What we clearly notice from the Indian side is that they have been treating Jammu and Kashmir, which they held, as their colony. They have been treating it for the last 70 years, this territory and its people, as their own colony, which they have no right under international law and even under their own constitution. United Nations opted for a unique solution for the resolution of Kashmir, and they passed several resolutions in which the proposed way forward was a plebiscite. And we notice about 15 or 18 resolutions passed by various levels up to 1960s early, whereby they were talking about some sort of a framework that should come up in Kashmir, which should be based on the right of self-determination of the people, whatever they are seeking, whichever way they want to go. India obstructed that. Initially they went along with it, but later on they obstructed that. And then they decided they will incorporate Article 370 in their constitution, which essentially preserved elements of statehood of the state. So Article 370 ironically served as a evidence that from Indian constitution perspective, Kashmir that India was occupying was never an integral part of the territories of Union of India. It was categorically so recognized. The state was allowed to have its own flag. The state has features of independence and statehood which were recognized by the Supreme Court of India, which was recognized by the various judgments of the High Courts of India, which are all part of the record and judicial record. And that is one reason why upon Article 370, when it was attempted to be reversed, that the matter was taken to the Supreme Court of India, and certain activists argued before the Supreme Court that Article 370 was giving them unique features and it could not be reversed in the manner in which it has been on 5th August 2019. In addition to that, we also noticed that Article 35A of the Indian Constitution was also set aside effectively, which basically was guaranteeing that no one will buy land, and the demography of the Jammu and Kashmir state that was in the occupation of the Indian will not be altered and changed. And that is how has been the state practice of the Indian government over the last 70 years plus. They did not alter the demography. And suddenly, with this new government in power, they decided to alter the demography. They decided to create a segregation legal framework against the Muslims which were residing there. And a systematic effort is being made whereby people from outside the state are being encouraged and given legislative incentives to come and shift and be part of the citizenry pool of the state, which is in violation of international law. And why I say it's in violation of international law is because there is a bilateral agreement between Pakistan and India, which is a similar agreement. Again, the agreement specifically said that both the parties should not alter the ground situation. This is a very serious alteration. This is a very serious move which prejudices the situation that exists on the ground. And then on top of that, we also notice it's a violation of international law of the UN Charter itself. Because pursuant to the UN Charter, there are these resolutions which have been passed, which mandate disposal of the territories of Kashmir in a particular way through a plebiscite. So by making an effort to do what they have done on 5th August 2019, effort is being made to neutralize and to render irrelevant all these UN resolutions which are still part of the record, which have neither been rescinded, which has neither been recalled, and which have neither been amended by subsequent proceedings of the Security Council.